Hello, we are back with Off the Top Sports Talk. I am Michael Sperber here with Josh House. Josh, who are we?
We are champions, Mike Milley.
Josh, got a special guest in the studio today, and he goes by the name Uncle Pete. Hey, what's up, Josh?
We're lucky enough to have Uncle Pete in studio today.
I'm honored to be in the house.
Thanks for coming on, Pete.
Thanks for having me, gentlemen.
House?
It's a special day for the viewers out there.
It is. Ratings should spike.
They're in for a treat.
House.
Do not forget to like Off the Top Sports Talk, all one word, on Facebook, and show some love to the freshest new sports talk show in town.
Uncle Pete, welcome. I'm going to let you do the honors of this week's Off with the Top Babe of the Week. Who is she?
Top babe of the week. It was a tough selection as always. There's a few babes in the hat, but it came down to one. She's straight out of Boston, and her name is Ariel Ritzma.
Oh.
She was referred to me by one of my good friends and one of our golf experts, Jason Bannister. He's got a few more he could probably supply your way, so
The list is long over there, isn't it?
She's a game changer, Pete.
Game changer.
Got a long, hard day of work, in a bad mood.
Feeling grumpy? Just look her up, and your day is changed.
Fellas, Ariel, I like that pick. I approve.
Instagram legend, isn't she?
You approve, House?
She's only 19, too.
Damn.
She's been putting in work.
Fellas, have you noticed that we give a lot of love to some and not so much love to others? Just happens. So on that note, we introduced a new feature on the show. It's our Off the Top Hall of Fame, which goes along with our Off the Top Hall of Shame. So Uncle Pete, your first show, will you do us the honors and induct our first Off the Top Hall of Famer?
I've wanted to do this for so long. It's been about 8 years. It's been a good ride, but I'm taking my talents to South Beach, yo. LeBron James.
The King?
All those doubters are just silenced right now.
It's kind of on a run right now.
23 games and counting.
23. And I don't see that ending.
He was even able to beat the
playoffs.
luck of the Irish in Boston tonight. That's a tough one.
Minus Garnett, minus Rondo. They get it done in the last 2 minutes
Down
like the
17,
Stars do.
though. Down 17, they came back. That's impressive.
But it's not just what he does tonight. He's got a nice body of work.
And he makes his team better.
MVPs, gold medals, championships.
Did you see his dunk the other night on was it Terry?
Ooh, that was
Alley-oop?
dirty. That was dirty. House, you got any Hall of Famers?
We're going to have to go with the local legend here. I mean, the two-sport star, the number 2 all-time receiver in the NFL, the legend, Tony Gonzalez.
Bow down.
He owns all the
TG.
records. How can you not make him a Hall of Famer, right?
And
You own all the records?
And
That
he's
makes you a
from
Hall of Famer.
HB, and that's what we represent. What do you think of Tony G? Falcons
We gotta
coming back for one more year?
We got to get him on the set this summer.
Yeah,
He'll be in town.
That's our goal. And
HB.
Mike Milley coming big with Kobe Vino Bean Bryant. 5 rings, 14-time All-NBA team, 9-time All-Defensive team, 1-time MVP. How do you feel about that 1-time MVP? Best player in the league for the last 15 years, and he gets 1 MVP?
Yeah, he got gypped.
Slam dunk contest winner, something that your boy King James could never say he has done.
But Kobe's got 5 and LeBron's got 1, so who's got the hunger?
5 60-point games, 1 81-point game, and it's safe to say a top 5 NBA player of all time. Would you agree?
Agreed.
All right. Unfortunately with Hall of Famers, you have to have all the Hall of Shamers. So, Uncle Pete, throw your Hall of Shamer into the box.
This guy's not necessarily an athlete. He's more of a businessman. His name is Mark Cuban. You can catch him on the Shark Tank.
What's your problem with Mark Cuban?
Just the way he conducts himself.
Classless?
Very flamboyant. His mouth does all the talking.
But so
I
do
think,
so do the checks that he writes.
He's got to learn a few tricks from Jerry Buss.
True.
One of the greats.
True.
That's what ownership's all about.
Jerry Buss will be in that Hall of Fame one of these days, that off-the-top Hall of Fame.
No doubt.
The best owner in history.
House, do you have a Hall of Shamer?
Well, what do we do, Mike? We like to talk sports over here off the top. And we're going to have to talk about somebody who really doesn't know what he's talking about much, but likes to talk a lot. He likes to hear himself talk. That semi-man would be Skip Bayless.
Skippy?
I really don't know anyone who sits there and goes, I love
Semi-man.
Skip Bayless. He can't stand the guy. I don't know who he knows at ESPN or whatever and how he has a job still, but he's just been getting smashed by athletes, and I like to watch that.
I have a buddy, I think you know him, Adam Tombrello.
Mm-hmm.
He sent an email into ESPN asking for his termination. Skippy Bayless.
That's ballsy.
He said he was sick of it. ESPN said they were going to look into it, and I hope they do the right thing. My off-the-top Hall of Shamer comes as no surprise to either one of you. I believe it's Tim Tebow for many, many reasons. First of all, he's no longer in the NFL, playing in the Arena League, I believe. Right? Right?
That's new breaking news,
yeah,
right?
Breaking news. He'll be in the Arena League next year. He's been a disaster in New York. He was a disaster on the Broncos. And Skippy Bayless is biggest fan. And just a terrible arm. His flamboyance over there as a Gator was sickening. Him and Urban Meyer, the little man crush they had together, wasn't into. So, there's your Hall of Famers. And there's your Hall of Shamers. Moving on. House, we got some ballers.
Yes, we do, Mike. As always, this first baller put on a pretty solid performance this week. George St-Pierre, unanimous decision over Nick Diaz, won all 5 rounds and all the judges' cards. So, handled his business. Our second baller of the night is Gonzaga, earning the number 1 overall seed in the final AP poll. Gonzaga's been known to be a basketball powerhouse, but first time they've been the number 1 overall seed in the big dance.
Mid-major.
Got to tip your hat to Mark Few.
Yeah,
Great coach.
He's been doing it for years.
He's been putting in work for a long time in that program.
But never made it up to number 1, and they finally did. But hey, congratulations.
Doesn't mean they're going to win the whole tournament this year. I'll say that.
Anything can happen. Ballers. This is ballers.
Mike is excited about his boy on this one. The Cincinnati Bengals make them our ballers for signing Mike's favorite player, Ray Maluga, to a new contract, keeping the league's 6th-ranked defense intact.
Next year, they're going to be number 1. This was a huge signing. You don't give up a presence like this in the middle of the field.
No.
Ray's been getting better. I got to give it to him. He figured it out a little bit in the NFL. He's getting smarter. He dropped a couple pounds. He's getting stronger, getting faster. I like it.
House, with ballers,
we got to have some fallers. This week's first faller goes with our first baller, and that would be Nick Diaz. Diaz decided in the post-fight press conference that it'd be a good time to tell the world that he's never paid taxes. And he'll probably end up going to jail for that. So, good job, Nick Diaz. After losing your fight, throw yourself under the bus to the government saying you don't pay taxes. You're not really the smartest fighter I've ever met.
You don't mess with the IRS, do you?
No, sir.
All right.
Ballers.
This one is a pleasure for Laker fans to hear. For me to say, because I actually did have this guy's back a tiny bit last year. I thought he had a chance to be something special, but I said watch out for the injury bug, and that's Andrew Bynum having season-ending surgery on both knees.
How many games did he play this year?
I don't know. How many did he play?
He threw up a big donut.
0
A lot of
games.
people want to dog Dwight Howard, leading the league in rebounding, presence on defense, but would you rather have Andrew Bynum? I mean, come on.
And then finally, our last faller of the week is the legendary Kentucky basketball program. After winning the national championship last year, they failed to get even in the big dance this year. I guess they didn't pay enough players in the offseason?
I mean, Anthony Davis, Michael Kidd, Gilchrist, that team that they had last year.
We're all the one and done for them this
Couldn't
year.
replace them, but next year, these guys probably have a little bit of talent, but just aren't NBA first pick talent.
Yeah.
So
Calipari's got to take the blame.
Calipari does have to take the blame. But
With the
next
glory
year,
goes the blame.
I'm sure he's getting his reloading, as they say. He'll have a strong bench with these freshman chumps this year.
If you don't make the dance consecutive years, you might be packing your bags out of Lexington.
All right, so those are our ballers. Those are our fallers. House. Can you get a little fight recap? We had a little fight card this last weekend.
We had a really fun
Can you
fight
talk
card.
about that? Jake Ellenberger, first round knockout of Nate.
Nate the Great.
Nate the Great. McCord.
I like to use testosterone therapy replacement as a hiding my steroid use.
Ellenberger pretty much just said night.
Yeah, we called it on the show last week. I told you guys what would happen. I said Ellenberger's on the rise, Marquardt's on the decline. I mean, his testosterone levels are from here to here. You never know. The guy is always getting kicked out of events and not getting paid because he's juicing, basically. Ellenberger came in, dominated the fight, didn't let Marquardt take him down, and then caught him with a vicious few punches that just put him out. He was done. Marquardt looked like he thought the fight hadn't started yet after he got knocked out. He said, "What's going on? I want to fight still." He didn't know where he was.
Sometimes that's all it takes. Mm-hmm. One big blow to the chin.
He caught him on he caught him flush a couple times. It was nice.
House fight of the night: Johnny Hendricks versus Carlos Condit.
This was a battle, and honestly, after watching the fight, Johnny Hendricks won. He took Carlos down consistently in the fight when he wanted to. He smashed him with huge overhand lefts, rights. He really put it on Condit, and Condit never flinched. He kept coming, even through some of the biggest shots. I was amazed that he was able to do it. And when Hendricks would take him down, he just kept working for kimuras, triangles, elbowing to the head from the guard. He was like a little Tasmanian devil trying to get Hendricks off him, trying to win the fight, trying to score enough. A lot of people thought Carlos somehow could have pulled it out. I had Hendricks winning the first 2 rounds and Condit losing the last round. But I could definitely see this being a title fight. Hendricks, a lot of people think after this fight, Hendricks could go in and maybe beat GSP.
So Hendricks' title hopes counted on an impressive performance right here, right?
It was impressive enough that he's going to get the shot at the title because he's undefeated. I mean, he's lost once. I think it might have been one of his first fights or whatever. He's on a roll right now. He just beat Condit, who gave GSP everything he wanted in the last fight. So
what about Condit? Valiant, late rally.
Condit is a
not
beast.
Done,
he's getting
right?
better with age. He's still young, but he's getting better with age.
He can still make a move up the ranks.
He's crafty. Yeah, he can. GSP did not. GSP was impressive in the fight, but
Hendricks
standing up, he can lose. He can lose in a stand-up fight. Hendricks is the best wrestlers in the world too. So if he can stay on his feet and keep it a stand-up fight with GSP. Watch out, GSP. He's got a big left hand.
Is GSP and Hendricks next? Is that what we're looking forward to?
I haven't heard the official announcement from Dana White.
That's what the buzz is.
That's what it should be. So let's get to the
main event.
GSP versus Diaz.
Boring fight.
It was pretty much a snooze fest. I mean, what I feared had happened. GSP took Diaz down within, I'd said every round, it was within 1 minute of the round, he was on his back. GSP had him down. He had held, and then the thing is that I give GSP a lot of credit for in this fight is that Diaz is a crafty jiu-jitsu guy. He had his moves working. He was trying to flip and to get out. He had a couple moves on grab and wrist control, and every time Diaz tried something to get up, GSP countered it perfectly, kept picking him up, slamming him back in the ground, pounding, working on him. I mean, he didn't really hurt Diaz that much, on top of him, but it was just impressive the fact that he could keep him down and kept pounding and he frustrated Nick Diaz. I mean, Diaz is out of his game plan. I mean, the third round, he finally was able to stand up for a little bit and punch and get some shots off good on GSP, but other than that, right back to the ground. And GSP was throwing the Superman punches up, keeping Diaz off balance. I mean, basically, it looked like a team that was a fighter that was really well coached, and a guy who is gangster, who just thinks he's badass.
There's a lot of buzz surrounding this fight, the lead up to the fight. Did you expect more from this fight?
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody expected more from Nick Diaz, but we were all worried that what was going to happen is what exactly did happen, that GSP just outclassed him basically in his grappling and kicking him down, not allowing, and then defending his jiu-jitsu was what was really impressive from GSP. He defended everything Nick could bring, and even when they were on their feet, he kept at just enough range that Diaz couldn't use his boxing hands. He gave him credit after the fight too. GSP gave Diaz credit with his boxing hands. He said, "Look, he's the best boxer in MMA. I didn't want to be in his range right there, so I stayed more Thai boxing kind of range on the outside, and then used my wrestling to my advantage, take him out. He can talk all the smack in the world he wants, but I beat him down every round."
So what's next for Diaz? The pokey?
The jail, I believe.
Yeah. So Hendricks and GSP are next. So what's up? I thought GSP was going John Bones Jones or Spider-Man. He doesn't want any of that. He doesn't want any of that.
He doesn't. I mean, now that Hendricks beat Condit, you've got a surefire
All right, that's the one we're looking for. We're looking for GSP. We're looking for Hendricks. Now, you know what time it is. St. Patty's weekend. And that means the brackets are coming out.
Let the games
begin. The road to Atlanta begins not Tuesday with those fill-in games. Begins Thursday. All right, fellas. Let me know your Final Four right now. Who you got in the Final Four? Midwest region.
Midwest is Louisville.
All right. And the West?
We got OSU, Ohio State.
Yes. In the South?
In the South, we're going to go with the Boys of Blue of Michigan.
Yeah. East?
We're going to go with the U.
All right. And Uncle? Midwest?
I got Louisville beating Duke.
All right.
Louisville is going to play the Buckeyes. And then I have Patino going back to the final.
Yeah, Patino making it to the final. Who do you have winning that Midwest-West Final Four matchup? Louisville or what do you got? Ohio State, Louisville?
I took Ohio State in that one.
So you got Ohio State going to the final?
Yep.
Okay. I got Louisville, Ohio State. I got Louisville. Now in the South and the East, I got Kansas and Indiana playing in the Final Four. And I got Indiana taking it to the finals. So I got Louisville playing Indiana in the finals in Atlanta. National championship game. Peter, break down your Final Four.
I got the Hoyas knocking off KU. They're going to take on the Hurricanes. A lot of talent on the court. Tough game. I was swaying both ways, but I'm going to take Larkin to just be the general on the court and get the W. It's going to be a 2-point game, 3-point game.
So they're in the national championship game against the U.S.
Georgetown, no. Hurricane against Louisville.
Okay, the Hurricanes versus Louisville.
Louisville
so the U is
taking
going
it
to make it
down?
to the finals.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I
House, break down your Final Four one more time for me.
we got Louisville losing to Ohio State. Ohio State's advancing. And then we're going to have Michigan trying to reclaim some of the old glory, but falling short against the new team, Miami, the U.
The
Hurricanes are back. And then I got Miami taking the national title down against
write it
Ohio
down.
State.
We're going to Atlanta.
House.
Don't count them out.
House's pick is Miami. The U. Get those brackets out. Make that money. Uncle Pete, who is your national championship 2013?
I'm going to be crowning the Louisville Cardinals. They just got the most balance. I've seen them play all year.
Will Rick Pitino wear one of his white suits?
No.
All white.
He's not going that far. He's going to keep it real.
All right. Keep it real. Keep it consistent. He's going to bring home a ring. I got Louisville beating Ohio State, making it to the finals. I got Kansas and Indiana in the other side of the brackets. I got Indiana winning that game, and my national champion is the Indiana Hoosiers.
The Hoosiers.
Victor Oladipo and Tyler Zeller and Tom Crean.
No Bobby Knight, huh?
Doing work. Bobby Knight, the ghost of Bobby Knight.
will be there?
Ghost of Bobby Knight will be looking down.
Is he still alive?
So, how do you think our brackets worked out. You think you got a chance this year?
They just got to win 6 in a row.
That's
This is what it looks like this year's bracket. Just go
First
like
to
that.
win
Throw your
6 in a
dice.
row. We gave you our picks.
Rolling dice.
Now see how you
Luck
do
of
it.
the Irish.
Look at that. Happy St. Patrick's
Good luck
Day.
to y'all.
All right, good show, fellas. Thanks for coming on, Uncle Pete. Gonna have to have you back on the show.
Just pure adrenaline going through my veins.
I want to thank our tech wizard, Mary Jane Alvarez House,
She's the best in the biz.
master producer, Jeremy Yorba, making us look good, and Craig Longiotti, making us sound so smooth.
You know it.
Yeah.
Showtime for free as always, showing love. Thank you, Uncle Pete, for dropping us that knowledge.
It's good to be in the house with you legends.
All right, for Josh House, I'm Michael Sperber, and we are out.